wisdom. Well aware are we of the dark clouds that have clouded upon our country these past few years. Countrymen have turned upon each other with spite and scorn. Innocents have perished by sword and by fire, and our beloved England hath been brought to the brink of religious civil war. While we doubt not the good intentions of our sister Queen Mary, we must admit that she hath steered England's course into perilous waters indeed. And we doubt not that some of you are loath to see her succeeded by a monarch of similar attributes. To you, we can only render this promise, that we shall strive, with tireless labor and burning heart, to prove ourselves worthy of this station to which heaven hath seen fit to raise us. And this festival day we join all ye good English folk, from merchant to duke, from shepherd to monarch, so that we might lift our voices as one in celebration. Let us therefore brook no further delay. Lady Mayor, have the presentation of our court.
Aye, Your Majesty. Lords and ladies, I give you Lady Cat Ashley! I give you Lady Mary Cheek. Sir William Cecil, Lord Burleigh, and member of Her Majesty's Privy Council.
Good Cecil, ever have you been a friend to our family, and we shall no doubt crave your good counsel on many an occasion.
Your Majesty, it shall never be my pleasure, nay, say rather my profound privilege. In fact, I might venture so far as to say sacred honor, to always provide you with my most honest, well-reasoned wisdom, to lend whatever succor I may to the crown, and to lift, however I might, some small aspect of the dread weight that lies upon the ruler's troubled brow.
Well spoken, Cecil.
Though certainly not briefly spoken.
Sir Robert Dudley, Her Majesty's Master of Horse.
Dearest Robin, how glad we are that thou might join us here upon this day. And we hear thou hast prepared many a merry diversion for our entertainment.
Indeed I have, Your Majesty. The help of the good people of this fair shire, and no small amount of coin from my own purse. Though no riches can compare with such brilliant pearls as I behold in your slide.
Oh, God preserve us all!
Cousin, take you no pleasure from a well-timed phrase?
I am a man of action, Your Majesty. Words are empty things without deeds to strengthen them. But I cry pardon. I have not yet been properly introduced.
Sir Henry Kelly, the Baron of Hampstead.
And
Duke of Kent and Hertfordshire.
stop! And
Newest member of Her Majesty's Privy Council.
there it is! Ever your humble servant, Your Majesty.
I'm not certain how familiar with the meaning of that word, Carrie.
Why, how now, Dudley? I am more than content with my station, which is more than one can say for thee, thou loathsome barnacle upon the ship of state.
My lords, we have an entire reigns worth of cat fights amongst courtiers to look forward to, but we would have no such animosity today. Cecil, we recall that before we relinquish ourselves to full enjoyment of the day, there are some matters for us to attend to.
Some small yet important matters of state, Your Majesty. Likewise, the Lady Mayor hath informed me of some troubles amongst the common folk of the Shire. With your permission, I thought that were you to render august judgment upon their issues, it would do well to set you as a just ruler to the people.
Well reasoned, Cecil. Then let us do it, pell-mell. Hold them forth.
The crown calls forth Mistress Amy Cooper! This is Amy Cooper, maker of barrels for all of Mount Hope's delicious libations.
Rise in, Mistress Cooper, and proceed with thy petition.
To fashion the metal bands for my barrels, I have long since relied on regular shipments of iron from the mines over in Cornwall. However, as of late, many of the shipments have been diverted to London for the levies of England's armies. I would never place my needs before those of our nation, but I have felt the lack most sorely. With your glorious ascension to the throne, and I pray no immediate conflicts on the horizon, I would most humbly request that our regular shipments of iron be resumed. Most humbly, Your Majesty.
It does make little sense indeed, methinks, to spend our resources on our defense if it is at the expense of the very people we seek to protect. But we would hear counsel. Harry?
Well, actually, Your Majesty, our coffers are still quite bare. Were the Crown to give over its resources to every peasant who approached hat in hand, we would bankrupt ourselves in a fortnight's time. Petitioners are like wolves. They strike at the first sign of weakness, and there are always more lurking out of sight.
It's a bleak picture thou dost paint, Harry. Yet mayhaps 'tis too early in our reign to disrupt any lines of supply. Cecil?
I believe I must agree with Sir Henry.
Verily.
It astounds me as well, Your Majesty. But whereas his reasoning is of apathy, mine is of utility. In this time of transition, many other nations will cast a hungry eye upon us. If France or God forbid, Spain were to bring their armies across the Channel, whatever force we raise to meet them must be well armed.
And so be it. Mistress Cooper, we fear that for the moment we must maintain our claim on Cornwall's iron.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
But these treacherous times will not last forever, God willing. In half a year's time we bid thee return and make thy petition again.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Elizabeth, perchance a bit of diversion before we continue.
Sir Robert, we really must attend to these other...
Come, Cecil, Her Majesty desires entertainment to enliven these mundane matters.
We must admit, such amusement would not be taken amiss. Lady Mayor?
Ah, Your Majesty, with great pleasure. Lords and ladies, I give you Sir George Bobbin from Our Majesty's Aviary.
It is such a tremendous, tremendous pleasure for me to say that to you, my niece. Be you well this day.
Aye.
And indeed, Henry, once again, it's good to see you. How is everyone? My lords and ladies, you sit in the presence of our queen. How are you this fine day? More like it, indeed. Indeed. Good people, it is once again a pleasure to be here at the Shire of Mount Hope. As our good mayor did to say, I am Sir George Boleyn, attending Falconer to Her Majesty the Queen. We're looking very, very forward to our new position. And indeed, we are very pleased to once again be here. We have 4 shows this day, 2 here upon the endgame at noon and 5, and then upon the chessboard at 3. Very sorry for getting my first show. There we go, indeed. At 1:30 and 3 o'clock upon the chessboard. We have 22 birds with us this year, Your Majesty, and are very, very happy to share all of them with these gathered guests. You'll be meeting all sorts of birds from this one, who, if any of you have seen any of our programs before, you might recognize him. He's been around for quite a while. Indeed, he just had a birthday back in March. He is 30 years old. Wow. Round of applause. I mean. He has heard a rumor that there might be a young eagle owl to take his place next year. I believe he's looking forward to his retirement. Just a tad, but not that soon, indeed. But, Your Majesty, if it does please you, we will away to prepare for our grand festivities, and we truly, truly wish that you have a fantastic day. You as well, Henry. Good people, God save the Queen! God save the Queen!
Accolades for Sir George Boleyn.
Cecil, what next must we attend?
Your Majesty, many foreign royals have sent lavish gifts.
Oh, how generous. Yet we needs must ask, what seek they in return?
Well, question most insightful, Your Majesty. Each of the gifts is accompanied by a proposal for marriage.
Are we here already? Yes, well. Let us hear what gallant suitor seeks the affections of the crowd.
I would suggest you entertain the suit from the Duke of Anjou.
France.
Aye. A marriage with France would protect us from our closest threat across the Channel.
Ever is thy way, Cecil, to appease those who would be our foes. Better to keep our enemies at bay by acquiring strong friends.
And whom dost thou suggest we befriend, Harry?
Oh, the strapping young Prince of Sweden has likewise offered his hand, Your Majesty. He has a mighty army and a very deep purse.
Of Sweden, you say? How young is this prince?
He is 8, Your Majesty.
Nay, he may apply his suit again when he comes of age in perhaps a decade's time.
Very well, Your Majesty.
Robin, we would hear your thoughts as to whom we should wed.
Elizabeth, it is indeed customary for a monarch to wed a foreign royal, but not a requirement. Forsooth, your sister Mary wed Philip of Spain, and such an entanglement led to no end of trouble. Mayhaps it is time that we set a new standard. Perhaps the Queen might best show her love for England by seeking an English husband.
Thine argument is most compelling, Dudley. Is there any particular Englishman thou wouldst recommend?
There is one I might mention, and I could give you personal assurance that he would be your staunchest ally and truest friend.
Cecil! It is no secret that I like thee not.
Or I
But on one thing we can agree.
Aye.
Anyone but Dudley.
Your Majesty, there are, of course, other suitors.
Others indeed.
We have here a jeweled sword from Sir Thomas Howard, Duke of Norfolk.
Oh, Lord Norfolk, I adore his taste in fashion. Cuts a fine figure in an overcloak.
Sir Howard's my soldier knows nothing of the ways of court.
We have here a grand ruby called La Stella d'Italia, sent all the way from the Grand Duke Cosimo de' Medici.
Oh, the Medicis, the merchant princes with bottomless coffers.
Come now, there is more to marriage than the acquisition of wealth.
Is there, though? Is there really?
We also have an exquisite fur cloak sent all the way from the Tsar of Muscovy.
Oh, Muscovites are jolly people. Their winters are cold, but their hearts are warm. Now listen here, our horses behind.
We are grateful for your counsel, and we understand well the importance of preserving civil peace by securing a royal heir. Yet we would like to imagine that we should have other duties as England's queen besides the mere production of future English kings. Therefore, we shall put this issue aside for the moment. Is there aught else?
Oh, Your Majesty, if I may, one request.
For such a mayor as thee, Lady Pemberley, we will gladly render what assistance we can.
Oh, Master Hotfield, Master Tallengrove, approach! Some 200 acres of land have recently been bequeathed, Your Majesty, to our shire to be used for common good. These two families, best known for their rivalry for generations, have fought over its destiny.
Your Majesty, I believe the land is particularly well suited to the barley my family uses to make Mount Hope's ale, which we all know is famous throughout England.
I will vouch for that. 'Tis a fine brew.
And I say the soil is better fit for the grapes that my family grows to make Mount Hope's wines, which, as we all know, are likewise famous throughout all of England.
And to that I will attest.
I've offered more than reasonable sum to Hopfield if he would relinquish his ridiculous request, but he refused.
It would be a tragedy of the common good if I were to let that land bear such rotten fruit as this mold-bitten grapes.
Now, Kangaroo's hedgebrook.
Elfish buffoon!
Oh, you... Now what, Raven? What children?
Pemberley, should this not fall under thy jurisdiction?
Your Majesty, but know you, the rivalry between these two families has been going on for so long, and it is all I can do to keep some semblance of order in our shire. Were it to be that I chose one over the other, my fear is, Your Majesty, there would be blood.
Gosh, when the children bicker, it always falls to us to restore order, doth it not?
Right.
Good masters, wherefore do you not follow Solomon's course and split the land betwixt you?
And have my fruits ordering his fields.
Who knows what contagion my barley might inherit from its plague-withered vines?
Perhaps thy filthy common hops might at last inherit some small amount of class.
my author of a perfectly acceptable social standing! Great growth, great growth!
The Queen is right
Behind you!
What say yourself, Harry?
I say that if the town cannot decide what to do with the land, it should become property of the crown. That way we may be able to determine what is best.
And Cecil, what sayest thou?
Your Majesty, to truly determine whether wine or ale would better suit this particular community best, we would need to consult the history of crop yields. Likewise, we would have to find out the average of what their goods fetch in an open market. In fact, it might be wisest to
hear me out. We could decide it with a game of chess.
No, it's a
Chess?
matter of policy with a frivolous chess match.
Not just any chess match, a human chess match!
Delightful thought. Master Hopfield, Master Tannengrove, since your feuding threatens the festive countenance of this merry day, we might at least use it to our own sport.
Your Majesty, to decide a matter of importance with a chess match.
A human chess match?
A human chess match? It might set a troublesome precedent for years to come.
And alas, Your Majesty, I must admit, I am not familiar with the game.
Nor I.
There's no matter. We shall appoint players in your stead. Cecil, thou hast a fondness for good stout ale, 'tis clear. Thou shalt command the Hopfields' army.
As you command, Your Majesty.
And Perry, I know thou dost enjoy thy wine.
Even if I did not, I would relish the opportunity to defeat Lord Burleigh in any matter. I accept. Who knows? Perhaps some humility might silence his pontificating.
Let's settle then. The masters, you have our permission to retire and select those to play on your behalf.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall crush thee beneath my heel, like the grapes that feel the presses raw.
I shall cut thee off the knee like a freshly mowed barley corn.
I shall stomp thy neck like the cork.
Alright, well, there is something impressive you should say, I must say.
Your Majesty, think we this wise?
Wise? Godspeed, Cecil, of course it is not wise. But simple folk may respond best to Dudley's simple solution.
I agree, Your Majesty. When grown men act as children, so will the fool for a moment act as sage.
Thank you, Sir Henry. Wait.
Now, good luck. Good people, have you had your fill of courtly matters? To begin this festival day in earnest? In the words of my father, who we all know enjoyed a rousing good pastime, let there be feasting, let there be merriment, and by God, let there be revelry!
All rise! God save the Queen!
God save the Queen!
Okay.